Good afternoon, YouTube. This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Today I am here. We'll discuss a little. We'll have a conversation. We'll have quite a few conversations. Here we have my partner in crime, the Hand of the Emperor, Gyrios. If I make sure you correct me,
just say Jing.
Jen, because Jen, and sometimes names I gotta get figures there, but to change the name on me. And we're gonna talk about GMV, which is the what's the name by the name again? GMV is the full name is General. Is it how do you pronounce it?
Let me look it up.
Yeah, because I think we still GMV. It's a site that that posts videos and content on bodybuilder, both men and women. Site's been around for a long time. We talked about it last time a while back, so we'll talk about it again. It's a popular site, Also, there's another site also that makes content showing videos and also contests such as there's also one called US Muscles. And if we know nowadays, bodybuilding is hard to find any time to watch it. Usually back in the day, you can watch it on television, on network television like NBC. You can watch on cable like ESPN and Fox Sports used to have it. But these are other than pay-per-views, or maybe sometime you might catch a contest on YouTube. These sites still produce and put out contests. Sometimes also they show the videos that some of the competitors can do on the side, like flexing and posing videos. So since I think Jen can really speak to you all how if you are interested how to if you want to check out the videos stuff like that and how to download it.
Yeah, so basically it's called GMV Bodybuilding.com. This is probably one of the most premier sites in terms of acquiring DVDs or digital downloads of bodybuilding, specifically female bodybuilding as well, because that's what our main purview is here. But it's divided into both male and female bodybuilding. Now, let me just pull my nose real quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, guys, while he's doing a little, we have my man KL. Shouldn't go against nature. We used to be KL or Angel. He says, "What's up?" I said, "What's up to you, KL? How you doing? Appreciate you coming through. I know you also watch the you go to that site because you are a fan of bodybuilding. He puts out good content. Check out my man KL. He has great content. Put out great videos. I want to get to his level. How he puts stuff out like that. So as you were saying, Jen."
Yes. So anyway, this site is probably the premier site in terms of bodybuilding DVDs and digital downloads. There's also IFBB DVDs. I think it's the official site link is ifbbtv.com. That also has a lot of, that's very specifically just DVDs that they sell. Specifically the Miss Olympia and Miss International. So over the years, starting recently, they've been adding a lot of digital downloads as well. They seem to be moving somewhat away from DVDs and towards just having digital downloads that you can keep and store on your computer or wherever. And these digital downloads, they've been releasing a lot of old stuff recently as well. So a lot of competitions from the early 2000s to the 90s. specifically the period of bodybuilding where I very earliest memories of female bodybuilding that I can remember is the 2005 to the present, basically, somewhere around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have the links as well. There's also another site as well that I can put up. It's MuscleTalk2.com. This also has a lot of digital downloads, along with USAmuscle.com.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's really key to have a profile made for these sites you're on. Now, why is that, you may ask? A couple reasons. One, if you have all your stuff on there, have your card and everything else stored, address ready to go. So when you're buying stuff, it's all set. Two, it's nice to have a place that you can store that, so you can go back to it instead of having to go through like emails or something like that. I've been storing up a lot of these digital downloads. I've been collecting them recently and keeping them in storage. Always good to have physical copies in a certain area. I mean, not physical, but you know what I mean. The copies somewhere of the download that I got. So anyway, so for GMV bodybuilding, they've been releasing. They've pretty much, from what I remember, released every single Miss Olympia, excluding 1980, 1981, 1983, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I think mostly because back then you didn't have as much, not a lot of people, videotape a lot of stuff, especially in the early 80s. Other than the men, most of the women's stuff didn't get as much recognition. I think by the time I think you got to Corey Eveson's time, what about 84, 85, that's when you started seeing a lot of content and videotape, because Corey Eveson was she was standard. I think she changed the sport. I think she brought more attention to it than anybody. And, I know a lot of guys, you also go to other sites like WPW, Women Physique World. That also, they have, content. They did a lot of stuff with a lot of ladies, contests, women from the amateur level to the NPC to the women in pros, the IFBB. It was, it's still around. They also used to have a magazine back in the day, Women Physique World. I still got some old issues. And it was one of the few magazines was when the women had their own, had their own place for content, But I think now with the internet now around, you don't really need magazines anymore. I know recently there's a gentleman who said that he's planning on doing also, video, like kind of like internet kind of magazine thing. That's what a lot of things is. Everything leaving paper to electronic age, like you said, no one really has a deep. Like used to be back in the day, you had a VCR, and now you don't have VCR anymore. You have a DVD player or Blu-ray, and now you don't really need to get a VCR. Remember, back then you used places like Blockbusters and movie galleries, so they're gone because the fact is people just can download content on the computer, or now you can just go and you can stream. Professional bodybuilding now, it does streaming, and they also do pay-per-views, because the fact is, it's a way where they can have control, and show the content that people want to see. Yep. To KL.
Can you post that? Sorry, can you post that link that you were talking about as well?
WPW. Let me find it, because I used to remember following when I was younger, and and PW. Let's say it was .net, if I was sure. It's been so long. If it's still up, oh, here it is. I got it, and I will post it for you. It's great content. You are old school women from the 80s, the 90s, as far as 2000. On the cover of it, if you look at it, you'll see a legend, Diane Dennis, and I think she was one of the most beautiful women in the sport of bodybuilding. Also, she's one of the few women who came to the sport as a mother. There's so few women who ever competed at that level as she did. But and we also talked about. We mentioned US Muscle. US Muscle is another site where if you want to look at content, they hadn't updated that site in a long time, because back in the day, they did a lot of the pump room videos. And if anybody knows Annie Rivicchio, she's a former professional bodybuilder she does photography, videos. She also does her own videos and content. And she used to do the pump room videos. That's when you see the women in the back getting ready, pumping up, getting oil, lifting weights, and they stopped doing that after a while because some women had issues with her videotaping them, and sometimes there was things that was happening in the back room that people didn't want to see. Like, that's why back in the day you used to show ladies using weights, but because there was some women get hurt and fell over the weights, they started using the band and stuff. They still carry some weights every now and then, but now you have other sites like NBC News. They do a lot of the backroom video stuff now. And and those sometimes the backroom stuff was fun, more better than the actual show. Because you see the ladies getting pumped up, getting oiled up, getting their outfits straightened out. That was a lot. That was a lot more fun than watching the show itself.
Yep. And to get to that, there's also a lot of backroom pump videos. Also on GMVBodybuilding.com that because they've been updating the site. Like, they're still updating the site. Who knows how many, there's probably so much, footage that's there that they haven't uploaded yet. It's probably, for example, one of the things I really want to see them update to is the Miss International contest. They got one as recently as, I believe, 1988. Now that's really far back.
That's 88. I think I was in middle school in 88. God, that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't even a thing yet.
You was a trick in your daddy's eye.
Yes. So they got the Miss International 1988, 1990, 1996, 2000, 2001, 2000, 2002? I think 2002. 2003 is a no. 2002, I think, is a no. They got 2004. Give me a second.
Also, do they have the Jantana? Because Jantana was one of the few standalone shows for women bodybuilding. Because back in the day, there a lot of shows for Miss International was connected to the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. So Miss Olympia was a part of the Miss Olympia, but the Jantana was one of the few standalone shows for women. It started around about, I think, in the mid to late 80s and kept on going till about 2003.
Actually, okay, so let me give you some correction. I think it started, if my memory serves correctly, in the 90s for Jantana, and it stopped in 2007, actually.
That's right.
They brought it back again, and then that was the final show. So basically, it was the equivalent of a proto Wings of Rising Phoenix, basically, where there would only be women competitors. Although I think even for Wings of Strength, they have the Arizona Pro on the side, which has men as well.
Well, actually, they don't have. I don't think they have men in Arizona Pro, because this is connected with the Wings of Strength. They don't share the. There's no men, because I think they used to, They used to, but they after a while it became. I think they decided to make this a completely all total. Because I know last year they say it was hard try to find sponsors. As you know, a lot of sponsors don't want to back too many shows if there's no men connected to it. But the last couple of years, the Rising Phoenix, the Arizona Pro, have been exclusively for the ladies. Just there's no banana hammocks, no board shorts. It's all it's just it's like a club where it's a ladies' night only.
Yep. And a few other things for connection as well. Okay, so there's that whole history with that. For the Miss International, it was held, I believe, if memory serves correctly, it was held in conjunction with the IFBB World Pro, I think it was called, or World Championships.
Yeah, because
one of those names.
That. Yeah,
it was held in Columbus, Ohio, and they were held jointly, but they were separate competitions. And in 1989, eventually it was all brought on one umbrella, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Festival, with the Arnold Classic being held in Columbus, Ohio. And as for the Miss International, that was its separate competition all the way up to 2000 when it was merged with into the Olympia weekend, basically.
Yeah, because the I think they even though the Arnold because it changed names, Miss International it's been around longer than the Arnold. That's the truth of it. But we all know in 2013, Arnold walked quiet behind female bodybuilding and stabbed in the heart, and he just did it again. Just last year, he just did it again to women's physique. And that's the thing. I mean, these women are like physique still has more stages compared to women's bodybuilding. I think I was like some ladies who I follow, who are I consider friends who are who they kind of disappointed because some of these ladies always want to go to the Arnold. Excuse me for a second. And you keep talking while I take care.
Yep. The thing I don't get about Miss International is, why is it they don't just hold the Miss International separate of the Arnold Classic? That's what I don't. I think that would be a nice little thing to like hold it separately while they're holding the Arnold Classic, but I guess it wouldn't get that much attention as the. I was just suggesting that the Miss International be held separately, but on the same exact weekend as the Arnold Classic is a kind of I guess FU to the promoters of that show.
Yeah. Well, we do have Miss International. We have the Miss International Chicago Pro. That is a pro. That's a pro.
But it's not.
It's not. I know. I understand what you're saying, but it still has the name Miss International. It is a pro qualifier. They have Chicago Pro, and the ladies who win that show go on and compete at the Rising Phoenix. Rising Phoenix was replacement for when Miss as again female bodybuilder had walked quietly from behind and stabbed in the heart by the IFBB.
So the Rising Phoenix is kind of like a merger of the Miss International Invitational mixed with the Jantana being a women's only event. It's sort of like this merger of the two into like
where you like say you put it like this, it's like merger of three because it was supposed to be replacement for Miss Olympia.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like Miss International, and it's kind of like Jantana. But now that female bodybuilding has returned back to the Miss Olympia, one thing is that it shouldn't be invitational anymore. It should be for one thing is there's a lot of competitors who feel like they miss out. It should be also turned back. It should be turned into Olympia qualified. Now I think it's going to be in September. I believe September, or I think it's October and September. They're going to have the Rising Phoenix. I'm trying to remember. I think I'm not. I think it'll be September. One of those days. But if it's before Olympia qualification, or it's after Olympic qualification, it should be a qualification for next year's Olympia. I think, and also I know it's a big prize money for all the competitors. I know the champion supposed to be there, but this is what should happen. Now that she is now the two-time Miss Olympia, Andrew Shaw should skip out the show. I know Winter Strength bring her in because she is the franchise now for female bodybuilding, but I think the show she made invitational. Yeah.
I just want to, because I already know they're probably not going to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I know that's what you want, but that's why I got my little compromise. I think, they can. Okay, so basically, here's brainstorming here, and then we'll get back to GMV. So I think they can keep the invitational, but there should be conditional here, in that it needs to expand to other competitors who have competed over the over the season, and I think if you have been qualified for the Miss Olympia and you're competing at the Miss International, it should be the runner-up behind you should get the points from the Rising Phoenix. So basically, if somebody so if Andrea Shaw wins second place or something, let's just go with like point system, and she's already qualified, that would go underneath her to third place. But if that person's also qualified, it would go to fourth place, and yada yada yada. You get what I'm saying?
Keep pushing the points down.
Keep pushing it down. I think that is a good way to have our cake and eat it too, basically. So you can compete, but it will not take away from people earning points.
Yeah, because one thing we should do like this. Now, we all know what's going to happen with the Miss International. Maybe talk with the Winter Strength. They're going to take mostly the women who are who qualify for their shows. Also, the 2 or 3 women who won the last Olympia, who made the top 3. That's Margie. Well, Margie's not going to do it because Margie's going to focus on Olympia because she made third place.
Yeah.
But also, there have been competitors who get, because you got to do the invitation. When you get invited, you come, you compete. Those women who hadn't get their qualifications, like I know my dear friend Miss Tina Williams, she didn't qualify for the Olympia. She missed the last track and 20 missed by a point. Also, there was Angela Rayburn, Asha Hadley, Natalia, what's her face? I got her name. I said that's name, and I was thinking maybe 4 women, 4 or 5 women who did not qualify for the Olympia. They just they competed at the show. I think. With all the qualifiers, that one of the women who didn't qualify for the Olympia should get a qualification if they for next year's Olympia. Say okay, if you make if you're one of the if you're one of the women who didn't qualify during the season and you make top 5. And you're above. You got Andrea there, you got Hella there, and you got maybe 2 other women who qualified by winning their shows. If you're one of the women, like I think Asha made top 6, so I think Asha should have got a qualification for next year's Olympia because I think that show was in when was the Rise Phase last year? It was in October, I believe. She should have got a qualification by points, and then she can try to earn her points for next year. That's the thing is it should be happening to if you make the top 5 in the show as a non-qualifier, you should be able to be qualified for the Olympia because it's only I think last year we only had 16 women and it's supposed to be a little more than that because I think a couple ladies, well most definitely couple ladies who qualified points dropped out. And then you had one lady, Anastasia Leonova, who couldn't make it because of this issue. So I'm hoping she can make it because she's a press physique. These Russian women can really bring on some muscle, a level of muscle. That's amazing. Oh, what here we got here is John Freeling. Yo, John, has seen you for a while, brother. Andrea has already stated that she's definitely going to defend both titles, and that's the thing is it can't be helped. But that's what happened. I mean, that's what happened with both with Miss International because Iris was doing both titles, and that's why they end up getting rid of Miss International because they didn't like Iris. They didn't like the muscle she was bringing, so that's why they got rid of Miss International.
I think that's an excuse.
Well, that's not that's the excuse, but
I think they were going to do that anyway.
But that's the excuse they used. And that's why they were about it because of how it was changing. It was trying to. They wanted to push the idea for me. That's why Physique got pushed to the front. But then look what happened to Physique. It gets the same knife in the back. But if Andrew wanted to defend both her titles, that's fair. But I think an opportunity, it should be no longer be. I would love to see it was no longer be an invitational. I think there's a lot of ladies who I follow say they put in their paperwork for the invited, but they got turned down for a reason or whatever. Sometimes they have a certain look that the IFBB, not IFBB, the Wing Strength wanted, and that's not fair. They work just as hard. I think this should be, I think more like this. I said against. If you're the champ, yes, come back. You're the champ. You have to defend your title. That's fair. But if you're a woman who already qualified for the Olympia, step aside. Let somebody else take their chance. You already got your qualification. There's no point doing that show. I saw some show, like people like my dear friend, I consider a friend, Sheena Oleg, Rashawn Boswell. They didn't look as good for this show as they did for the Olympia. They should have. I think they should have focused more on getting ready for the Olympia than for the show. I know because they're qualified. They're qualified for the Olympia. They want them at the show. But what should happen is all other people have not qualified for the Olympia. If you put in paperwork and if you see, okay, what's the face? Oh, she already qualified, so okay, we put you to the side. You shouldn't even put in your application for the Rise of Phoenix. Step aside, let the champion defend her title. Bring in some people who want an opportunity to, prove themselves. Even if you were like behind on points, like I think there's some ladies who were behind a few points. Like Janine Lakowski. She took by the points because I think she was leading the points before. Because the first person who was leading was Marquita Leonova, but she won the show in Spain. So what should happen is that the women who did not, if you have like so few points and you want to qualify for next year's Olympia or also get the points that help you for next year's Olympia, you should be the only ones to come. All other ladies who have earned their qualification, step aside. Focus do like Margie do. Focus on the Olympia. Don't do this. I think it should be fair. But like I said, the champ want to come and defend the title. That's her right. But all the other people, you already earned your qualification. Step aside and let other people try to earn a qualification for the Olympia. Also, maybe get some points. This is once again from John Freeling. For the ladies, the pay is not the same. They do it more the prize money. Yeah, that's true. Because I guess the Rising Phoenix give you some good money. You get prizes for best poser, best video, most muscular. You get a car if you win the. And that's the thing is the Olympia, being the biggest show, being the more established show, should have given more prize money to. I mean, Andrea shouldn't get $50,000, while Big Rami gets nearly almost $500,000. She should get at least. I'm not saying she should get $500,000, but at least give her, I would say, $100,000. Where how much money she puts into getting ready, she gets some back, and she has to make some money on the back end.
Yeah,
but
But wouldn't that be nice if we had any power over that?
Yeah. But, they'll listen to fans. They listen to the so and so's and so and so's.
So anyway, back to The GMV Bodybuilding. I already went over. They pretty much got all, or at least most of the Jantana and Miss International, and pretty much almost all of the Miss Olympia. Um, um, so, other than that, um, they've been releasing a lot of old competitions as well recently. Like they released the 2005 Charlottesville Pro. Charlotte Pro in North Carolina in 2005. So the 2005 Charlotte Pro. They also just recently released the 2001 Miss International Finals, but not the prejudging yet.
Mhm.
I'd keep an eye out for the prejudging for that, because they have like some kind of behind the scenes thing for the 2001 Miss International, but they didn't have like the basically it's behind the scenes, as in
Pump
taping
room.
the competitor. No, taping the competitors from behind as they're competing instead of being in the audience. Get what I'm saying?
So from behind. So now I'm talking about backstage. I'm talking about the pump room stuff.
Some of it is, but some of it isn't. And there's also the 2009 New York Pro they just released.
Mm-hmm.
The prejudging, the finals, and you got the pump room as well. So you got 3 in 1.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a lot of women's muscle. These are just like there's a whole series of these. Like there's women's muscle 1, 2, 3, etc., etc., etc. And these are just spliced together of various women at various competitions, all put together. I haven't went through all of them. Some of them could be have some new material in it, or some of them could just be recycled stuff. But yeah, they've been adding a lot of old shows recently. I need to go through a lot of them, and a lot of these are like pro shows, and there's some amateur ones as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we can't forget the amateurs, because if there weren't there wouldn't be no pros.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right here, I got my man John Freeling saying again, I think they compete more because they need the prize money. They don't get the same endorsements, and I don't think they can afford not to compete. Well, don't have to compete, because I know some ladies who recently say they're getting out of bodybuilding and retiring because But the fact is, endorsements, it's hard. It's hard for these ladies to get endorsements. That's why when I do interviews, I say to people, the ladies I'm interviewing who are competitive bodybuilders, or try to see if you want to help them out and endorse them. But yeah, it's good that they put out this content, updating it. It probably might even get some stuff that's coming now. If I don't know, we just trained with them.
That's interesting, because I have not seen that much recent content of female bodybuilding. The only, I got some footage of the 2020 and 2021 Miss Olympia. I got that stored in a certain place, but there's some Rising Phoenix as well. But they haven't released that as digital downloads yet. That's its own thing.
Well, I think the thing is that Wing to Strength is over women's bodybuilding, so they have control of all the other shows. So they're probably going to put out maybe on their website. Also, you can also check their Facebook, IG, Twitter. Wing to Strength is about everywhere, and they're probably going to put out that content themselves. Most just the women. But the other stuff, like the men, is probably like GMV and a couple other sites are probably going to do it, because I think with men's bodybuilding, women's physique, and also the other divisions are probably going to be with that site. But I think women's bodybuilding is Wing of Strengths, under Wing Strengths control. Yeah,
bodybuilding.
Yeah, modern bodybuilding under their control. So they're probably going to put the content out themselves.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, we gotta give it time.
Fingers
You
crossed.
can't rush it. So anyway,
Yeah,
folks.
well, yeah, but there's like a lot of material. I mean, like it's probably going to take them years upon years to like, who knows how much material there is. Like footage wise, there might be some footage that we find of various competitions that we didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Um, we will see.
Yeah, it's like I said, the content's out there. You just got to work on it. So anyway, folks, with that part, we want to talk about something that if you have been following social media, you follow my channel. I did a video a while back where I announced that Hella Trevino had surgery. She had an injury on her shoulder. I think it was her right shoulder, and she was in Mexico. You know, she was on vacation in Mexico anyway, but I believe she got injured. She had a tear in her ligament. I think it was but I think what kind? I forgot how she said it, but it was like two spots in her shoulder where she had shoulder problems before, but you know whatever it happened,
Yeah.
she had an accident. And Hella right now, she just had surgery. That I think that Thursday she did an interview with AJ and JB over at Female Bodybuilding Channel. You know, telling her how she's doing. Right now, she cannot leave Mexico because for now, because of after surgery, you know, even if you fly, you know, sometimes there's some serious things. Right now, she's staying down there. She's also going to train, help people, and also, if you go to my channel, you go to my community section, you should see I posted pictures of her where she just showed her she's wearing a sling now. Also, there's also a picture I posted with her PayPal. If you are a fan of Miss Helen Trevino, you know these ladies. Most of these ladies, they most of the time bodybuilding is their life. Few have jobs outside of it other than being fitness instructors. She's going to do online stuff, as she mentioned. Also, there's some competitors that live down around Mexico and close to the border. You know, they'll probably go over there and talk to her and maybe try to get instruction. She's a good instructor, from what I heard. But like I said, now she has the time. I think she can really work with people. But the thing is, now with Hella out, how do you think it's going to affect the landscape of both the Rising Phoenix and the Olympia? As you know, she took she took first one up at both shows.
So you're confirming that she's not going to recover by the time of the Miss Olympia, is what you're saying?
Well, from the information I gathered when she gave to AJ over there, Female Body Channel, it might take her to almost 5 to 6 months. And you got to think about it. That's not enough time because even though the Olympia is going to be December, if she could, she'll probably try to skip maybe the Rising Phoenix. But if she can't get to a level of where she is like a great condition like she was at both the Rising and also the Olympia, there's no point. She's going. It's better for her to because you can't rush it. As you know, like I said, I mentioned my dear friend Sheena Oleg. She had surgery. She had an interview a while back, about a month ago, with AJ, and she had surgery herself, and she's recovering. But she did this, I think, maybe a couple months before the situation happened with Helen. So she might have enough time when she gets ready. She could probably pop in the show. We got it maybe by July, possibly. Maybe shoot for something like, I think they got the Savannah Pro in I think it's September, or one of those shows in around July, or she probably shoot for one of those shows if she can make it in time. But like I said, the big question is, out there who follow Hella on social media and who follow Female Bodybuilding, how, in your minds, how do you think this will affect the Olympia and also the Rising Phoenix?
Well, I guess it depends on if she competes or not. So let's. This is so screwed up today. Let's just brainstorm, or let's just assume. Again, we're not saying this is definitive. Don't listen to us. We're just speculating here. That okay, Hella Trevino doesn't compete. That would open up the second place spot to if and so that means a second place spot is open up, and that could be for anybody, be it Margie Marvelous Martin, or Mona Pasella, or Irene Anderson, or whoever. And that could open up a new possibility for who could be in the top 3 for qualifying. So, so it was Irene Anderson. Andrea Shaw, Margie Marvelous, and Hella Trevina. Was Mona Pasella also?
No,
she did not qualify.
Yeah, because you know now they changed it. It's top 3,
yeah.
because it's Andrea, Hella, and Margie, and
those are the 3 that qualified. For the 2022. Okay, so that would open up a new qualification, and who knows? Like maybe Andrea Shaw comes in not in her best condition and maybe slips up. Like this has happened before. It's not like this hasn't happened in Miss Olympia history. But it's not likely, but it is possible. I think that's like the real thing. It's just new spotlight on new competitors, qualification for the next Miss Olympia, and just Hilla Trevina not being in the spotlight, basically. It may cause her just simply to retire early. But I don't know if she'd want to do that or not. I think she would want to do one more big show on her own terms and then leave.
Yeah, because it was like she made her first Olympia back in 2003, and then she had an injury. I think that next year she missed most of 7 years. She was out. She was training, working with other people, and then she came back in 2011, and she competed, and she really climbed a good bit. I think I don't know if she did any more Olympias after return till I look at her record.
She did the 2014, if my memory serves correctly.
So she did that.
It could be wrong. So basically, from what I can remember, and again, this is all based off my former knowledge as a fan of this sport, Margie Martin and Hella Trevina were high mid-tier competitors. So they would get into like the 7, 8 spots at the Olympia, and they would get like first at like a pro show, basically. After Irish left, retired in 2014, Alina Popa didn't compete. That elevated Margie and Hella Trevina up to the top spot, basically. So that's what retirements can do sometimes, is that they can elevate these high mid-tier competitors to the number 1 spot. So they were already somewhat high up at the Miss Olympia, even prior. I think outside of Irene Anderson, Hella Trevina, and Margie Martin, those are the only 3 that have competed at the Miss Olympia prior to it coming back. There's that. Also, as the older competitors retire or move on or whatever, we're going to get more. It's going to change the shape of the competition, because there's like certain periods in female bodybuilding where the same competitors pretty much place the same spots for like years on end. I remember there was a period in the Miss Olympia where it was basically the same 6 women got the Miss Olympia for like 3 or 4 years, if my memory serves correctly. It was
Irish.
It was Irish, Alina Popa, Debbie
Levitsky. Levitsky,
Yaxine,
and also Orkin, and Diana Cadeau.
No, it wasn't Diana Cadeau. It was the Slovenian one. I can't even.
Richard Brezovic.
You're better than me at the name. So
I think Brigida. Yeah, I think that's what.
Yeah, they pretty much.
I used to follow her. Yeah. Right here. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, they all. It was like, things can be in. What I'm saying is things can be in either can solidify for years on end, with like the same competitors pretty much being where they're at, or things can eventually kind of be in flux until things solidify again, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for good example, like people like Laura Craval or Vicky Gates, or I'm trying to think of also Yolanda Hughes and Denise Rosowski. They retired. That kind of like, I think when Denise retired back in '93, that gave a really opportunity for Kim Zavetsky, because Denise, if she came back in '94, I think Denise could have probably beat Linda that year if she came in better prepared and better conditioned. She looked pretty good, but she probably could have maybe take a shot at Denise. Right here we have is John Freely. I really hope to see some of the Russian ladies like Anastasia Leonova, Anastasia Kovalova, plus whatever happened to Natalia T. Well, I know you talk about Natalia. I forget her real name. I will say Kostanova. Every year there are some European girls in the top 10. Yes, because European bodybuilders, they always come great. I'm a big fan of European bodybuilders. Like Irene Anderson, Margita Zamanova. The big question is Jay Fuchs going to come back? Because I'm a fan of Jay Fuchs. Jay lives in Switzerland. She's 50 now. She is huge. She is, she had competed since 2013. And the question is, if Jay comes back, now hella out, will she kind of take that spot? She hasn't won a show. If she can come here, and if restrictions are down by then, if she can compete a show like either Tampa or maybe Chicago or maybe something like the Savannah, which get an opportunity to make the Olympia, how is this going to look? Also, John said, we have never seen all the ladies that qualify compete because of the C19, but predicting Andrea Shaw's retirement is Bahamas to me. Bananas. Yeah. Andrea is still, young. She's just 39. I think she was 38. I think, she was 38.
Yeah, why would she retire now? That would make no sense.
Yeah, because
like unless it was like a situation like Kim Chavesky, who retired due to politics, to say the least. And Irish retiring because fuck it, why not? Nothing else did. I guess I shouldn't curse as well.
This is not too much fan of the kids. It's just 3 o'clock. Kids just getting home. They're gonna watch cartoons. And then the cartoons aren't anymore. They just get out of school like we're out there. I ain't got out of school yet. And that's the thing is that now with this landscape changing, as we said again, we're hella out. It's a push for if someone like most definitely a fan favorite, Alicia Young. If she can come in if she had just as good a condition she had back in 2020 at the Rising Phoenix, if she just she got to be in the show. I was thinking that she was going to do the one of either Savannah or maybe the Tampa, but she stepped aside because of medical issues, because she's been dealing with that for a long time. And then you get someone also like Christina Mendoza. She's been putting. If you follow her, Christina has been putting on some size. And I just it's just, and also my man Jen just mentioned, what about Virginia Sanchez? I don't know about Virginia. I love Virginia Sanchez, great female bodybuilder, great woman. But the thing is, when she's also like Jay, she's in her 50s. She's been competing for a little over 20 years.
30 years.
Right about 30. Yeah, about 30 years. And it's up to her if she still want to come back and compete. Also, Jen, my bad. I thought I heard Jen say that. Yeah, that's true. You probably heard Jen say that. And it's all depending. But I think they want to push the young competitors. Like you have, Heather Hunter. I mean, sorry, Hunter Henderson. She is. She comes in. She wins her first bodybuilding show on her debut. Then earns her pro cards. That just no more than maybe a month or so after winning her first bodybuilding show, then takes second at the Tampa. And I thought that maybe she could do another show. She's young, she's impressive. You still have
as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you have so many up and comers. And like I said, the good thing, the women from overseas. Now that like you mentioned Natalia, Anastasia Leonova. And she could come over here and maybe, I think she probably would love to do shows in the States. Her husband, he's a crazy guy. He guy's crazy. The guy got a tattoo on his face. And if she can, she probably do a show, but she probably rather, a lot of these ladies who are overseas, who are in Russia and other countries, they rather come here because there's more shows. If they can come here and do a couple of shows and the qualification, then go back, sit, chill out, and come back for the Olympia. And now I'm hoping they don't have to do the quarantines. I know Ariana said she had to do 2 weeks in Turkey before she got here. I know a little lady who I follow, Miss Barbara Manjan from France. She competes in Physique. She had to do her and another French competitor, Anne Moon, had to do a couple weeks in Mexico. But if they can get an opportunity and come here, we will see. I think we'll see a different layout. And if Margie doesn't come in the best shape, like I follow Margie, and she looks pretty good. But she's gonna sit out. She's not gonna do the rising because she's gonna say, "I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna do the Olympia." That's a smart thing to do. If you are a qualifier, and just sit out and wait and do the big show. Instead of again what happened with Sheena Orlick and Rashada Boswell, they didn't look as good as they did when they won their shows. They should have just save the time, relax, get stuff and the other. But we all know it's about presentation for the Wings of Strength. They have all their champions. Here again, John Freely. I have a question. With all these magnificent Brazilian ladies, do they have an Olympia qualifier? Qualifying. Well, John, no, they don't.
Not in Brazil.
Not in Brazil. Maybe as for pro qualifier, but not for Olympia qualifier. I know they have an honor, show in Brazil, and I also have other shows in Brazil. But there's some great. I'm tell you, people forget there's some great people from Brazil, like Simone Olivia, Annie Freitas, one of my favorites, Selma Labat. There's a lady over there. I forget how to say her name, but she was pretty impressive. But now she's kind of as big as she used to be. I always want to see her. Flora, I forget how I said it right, but she was pretty impressive. And I would love to see a lot of these ladies from Brazil. There's a lady from Brazil who competed at the Puerto Rico Pro, but she competed as an amateur. I did a video about her a while back. I forgot her name. She's from Spain, I believe. But she's actually from Spain. But there was a lady from Brazil, but she was competing in Physique. I can't say her name right. Beautiful woman. Amazing body. I think she should switch to Women's Open. She probably do there because she has to look to her. I think the judges probably like that, especially women's bodybuilding, because they want to get away from the mass muscle look. But people like Ari Anderson, Eva Montgomery, Anastasia Kovalova. I mean, we love the mass muscle women because it's part of the progress of the sport. Yes, I love my Rashada Boswells, my Jada Beverly's, my Tina Williams, and all the other ladies who are not as big but have amazing shape, amazing condition. I am ashamed they have several great ladies. Don't be ashamed. Just admit it. Brazil is one of those countries that produce a lot of. And also, women from South America, Central America, Mexico. Lady who I follow, Miss Gabrielle Pena. She's a beautiful lady. She has a great physique. She competed for bodybuilding before, but she made switch to physique, and now she's back to bodybuilding. I hope she makes it. Because we forget a lot of women who are over the seas and cross the borders. Also women in Canada. My dear friend Miss Tana Huey. Also, there's just Robert Triple D Hillis. We would love to see those ladies come here and compete in the States, but they do have shows over there. I think they're supposed to be having 2 shows: the Vancouver show, the Toronto's going to be in May,
Victoria.
the Victoria show, and I think there may be one more show, yeah, and another show for Olympia qualifier. But the big shit, like I said, now with Hella out, I think it's going to change the landscape of the Miss Olympia. We won't know. It's an opportunity for maybe if Mona Porcella, if she smart thing for both Mona and Irene should do is try to do a show. Mona should go ahead and do this. Because they had the Olympia, they had the Toronto the end of the year, and now it's going to be in May, so she should go ahead and do that show. Oh yeah, and so hasn't heard anyone mention Monique Jones. Oh, I'm sorry about Monique. Yes, well, last year Monique took a step back because Monique took a step back because
I think she also competed at the Olympia as well. So I want to correct myself. She did compete at the Olympia prior to it.
Yeah, because you forget. Yeah, she also competed. She also competed in the Olympia. So she's like, I think there's only a handful of women who have competed in the Olympia before they brought it back, and that is still competing. That's Helen Trevino, that's Margie, Kim Buck, and also Monique. There's only a handful of women who. Yeah, and who?
Irene Anderson, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Irene. We can check that, but I'm not sure if Irene did or not. She might not qualify.
I don't know.
I mean, we'll check that out later. We'll find out.
Yeah.
But maybe John. Hey John, tell me if Irene did compete, let us know and let us know in the comment section. People, we really appreciate y'all for coming through, and we talk about this. Like I say, with Monique Jones, I said again, I'm hoping she does come back. Monique is a great woman. She took some time off this year. She took some time off before. Monique, she's a coach. She poses, she trains other people. Maybe she wants to take some step back. And back in 2021, I felt she should have won most muscular. No offense to no offense to Andrea, but Monique should have won most muscular. That was her award. I think she was. I know they wanted to go with Andrea, but I think she was not. Andrea was not as muscular as Monique was at the Rise Phoenix that year.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we have anything else to talk about, brother?
I think we covered a lot today. I'm only just trying to duck out of here because I want to finish up this meal I got here, unfortunately. But I think this was a pretty good discussion we got, and hopefully next time we'll have a pretty good discussion as well, because there's always stuff to talk about, especially in this world today.
Yeah, even though right now we're not having any shows, I think next month they're going to have the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. We don't care about it anymore because it does not have, other than maybe Figure, it has no real true women's bodybuilding in any form. Figure is kind of like women's bodybuilding. It's kind of like more like, Figure is like a cross between, because it was created from the idea of fitness, and also it has a bit of the bikini to it. But the women's muscle level are just as much as women in, like, I would say, amateur lightweights. I would say, and I've done some content about women. I even want to, if you are a woman who competes in women's in Figure, and you want to come on my show and we talk about your sport and about how you got into it, I'd love to talk to you women, because you know what, other than my dear friend Miss Liz Curtis, who competed as an amateur figure, also in Physique, I have not got a chance to talk to any in the figure division. I've been talking to quite a few ladies in Physique and bodybuilding, but I like to talk to ladies in figure too. But
well,
like I say,
I have an idea for next week's show. Because it's going to be African American History Month next February, so I got some ideas. Yep. Oh, technically tomorrow. Yeah. I'll shoot you up some ideas, but you all have a good one. Peace out.
All right. See you later, bro. Anyway, we'd like to thank y'all for coming through and comment and share your comments and your likes. I'd like to thank John Freeling. I'd like to thank my man KLAA, and I'd like to thank my brother Jin, the hand of the emperor. Like I said again, let's support the sport of bodybuilding, especially for the women. The sport altogether needs a lot of support, but I think the women need it more because the fact is they sacrifice so much of themselves, their lives, their time, their money, and they don't get as much out of it compared to some other divisions. Support. If you're a fan of female bodybuilder, reach out to them. Be genuine. Reach out to them. If you can find a way to say, you know what, if I can find a way to help you, in your journey into the sport, I'd be happy to help you without asking for anything in return. Don't be looking for nothing, fellas. I know some of you guys I'll be looking for something, but don't be looking for nothing. Just you want to help an athlete, progress in their path in their career in this sport. So anyway, I'd like to thank y'all for coming through. This is our Muscle Talk Mondays, episode number 69. I'd like to appreciate again my brother Jen, my brothers John, and my brother KLA. Anybody who drop a like, I appreciate that. Comment, subscribe, share. Get this out there. We want to get people to listen to us. We're fans. We're not experts. We're fans, and we're fans of you ladies. And like my man Joker says, and you are beautiful. It should be all the way Jerk Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.